children of the night. What music they make. They're all gonna laugh at you.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brain.
What's up, Final Freaks? It's Tuesday night. That must mean shenanigans and lots of pickles. Welcome to Final Guys, your one-stop shop for all things horror and completely ridiculous. I'm Hunter Shea, and as always, I'm joined by Jason's Fried Liver.
Hello there.
But the best name on here, Fried Barry Manilow.
Mm-hmm. I can't smile without you.
Fried Timmy.
That's me.
And I'm Dick Prober, just for tonight. Just so I could be a little bit different. Because tonight we're going to discuss the amazing movie, Fried Barry. And I think a drinking word, I don't know if Sheridan put it in, should be every time Jason makes it sound like fried berry. So we could add that on. Let's tack that on.
Fried berry or fried berry?
Sometimes you say it sounds like fried berry. And I think maybe you should take a toke of your favorite smoke if we hear you say it that way.
I don't even know if I can say it differently.
I think I think you're reaching on this one. I don't really notice.
Barry. Do you eat strawberries or strawberries? It's a difference.
You
we'll
say
see
like
as the show goes on.
The Bronx berry.
Berry. Eat a berry, you bastard.
Jerry, where's the berry?
I'm high on PCP. Actually, no.
PCP.
I did try
Angel dust.
before the show. I tried rosé for the first time in my life. Have you guys ever had rosé?
I love rosé.
No,
you do.
Yeah.
You're a rosé all day. I'd never had it, and it was we have a bar of 1 million bottles, and I just grabbed a bar and I just started drinking it, and then my daughter comes out. She goes, "That's Post Malone's limited reserve of rosé.
Ooh.
There's no more made." Now my other daughter is going to be pissed when she finds out.
Not Post Malone's rosé.
Dude, it was good.
It's got to be aged like 49 days.
It tasted like the ink on his face tattoos. It's delicious.
Okay.
that sounds weird.
Before we get into this week's shenanigans, we have drinking words. Who wants to read the drinking words? Anyone? Bueller?
Sure, I will. Why not?
All right, go for it.
All right. If you hear one of us idiots say these words, take a drink. Jack's words are polarizing, fried, and pickle. Hunter, yours are bonkers, drug, and probe. Clairol. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Pregnant with 2 N's. Sun and asylum.
Clairol headquarters. Clairol headquarters is really close to me.
Yeah, it's right around the corner, basically.
Riveting. Mine are leprechaun.
What's near you? The headquarters for frickin' incest? That's a
what?
That's a Deliverance reference.
Is there a headquarters for incest?
God damn that. Okay.
Fuck.
This is where the rules are made. Headquarters.
He lives in the friggin'
I
Deliverance
used to.
world.
I don't anymore.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's still got a purty mouth. Don't be judging my jokes.
My words are leprechaun, stunt, and camera, and the bonus words are alien, shutter, and junkie.
You really triggered Fried Barry Manilow there.
That's with the Clairol story.
He is not fucking
He's
around.
like, oh,
tonight.
that was interesting.
I'm trying to think of what the hell is made in Baltimore.
Baltimore coffins, caskets.
Pretty good with murder. Yeah.
The Wire.
Yeah, bullets.
What's that seasoning?
Old Bay?
Old Bay.
I don't even know if that's made here, to be honest. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's probably made in China.
What's your opinion of Old Bay? I feel like it's
Love it.
The anticipation of it is better than when I actually eat it.
Put it on everything.
Seafood, it's great. Even though I can't eat seafood.
I even put some in my coffee. Just sprinkle it in there.
Oh, God.
I'm not a seafood fan, so Old Bay is not. It's not in my repertoire. I'm more adobo.
What do you prefer, Old Bay or Old Spice?
Old Spice.
I like Old Spice too.
It tastes pretty good.
Yeah, delicious.
Once I turned 50, I felt that I can wear it all the time. I'm like, it doesn't matter anymore.
It stains my teeth, though.
But now they have like hip new scents to.
Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't just smell like the traditional
Grandpa.
old. Yeah,
Smells like grandpa's shirts.
it smells like Grandpa after he played like the over
Shirts.
50 basketball league on Tuesday night.
By the way, before we dive into the news, I want to do a little PSA. Jason, fear not. This has nothing to do with politics or religion. I just want to say
Okay.
we're at a point now where, like the four of us here, these vanilla faces, you can see all of the vanilla because we have no masks on. And a lot of places are saying you can take your mask off. Because I'm a man of the people, unlike you guys, I'm there in the trenches with everybody who watches this show and Monster Men and everything else, and they expect me to represent them. And I've been hearing a lot of people who their bosses are telling them they have to be in work now in the office while the management stays at home and will not go into the office and haven't been in the office since last March or April. I'm going to tell you fuckers, if you're going to tell people to go to work, take your chicken shit ass out of your house and you get your ass to work, just like everyone else you're telling that they have to do it. That's my PSA. God bless America.
Did you get a memo at work this week or something?
What
No, I've just
inspired
been hearing
that?
a lot lately. I hate that bullshit. I hate people who are hypocrites who tell you, you do what I tell you to do, but I'm too scared to do what I want you to do for me. And it's just one of those pet peeves I have. The
more
world
you
is
know.
changing, man. You know what? If you don't like that boss is telling you that, tell him to go fuck himself. You can find a job somewhere else. Somewhere that appreciates you. Work for Final Guys for free.
You could be a,
I was going to say, it costs me money to work for Final Guys.
you could be a pickle packer.
You pickle packer, absolutely. You could be a briner. You could be a shriner. You could be a lot of things. So, all right, I'm
The
stopping.
world needs pickle packers.
More and more than you think. Jack,
We've really gone
Shit
we've
is
really
so
gone
far off the rails.
might as well.
I'll bring it back in. I'll bring it back in because I just want to mention this book came out today. Goblin by Josh Mallerman.
Finally.
Yeah, it just came out, so check it out. That's my PSA for the.
Did you get
for
in
the day.
hardcover there?
This
very
is a limited edition, signed limited edition that
no, no
Earthling Publications put out in 2017. So
Can I get something? Can I get a copy for under $50?
I think this
Somewhere.
was about $50. So
No, I
it
wouldn't
was
pay $50 for my own book.
money well spent, sir. Money well spent.
Jason won't pay
I
for
like
anything
it.
in print.
I like limited
Much as
editions,
50.
man. I enjoy them.
Are you saying there's people out there that will spend $50 on a book?
Yeah. Oh my God,
Sometimes
more than that,
dude.
Way more than that.
There's a Robert McCammon limited of Swan Song that I really want to buy, but it's like going on eBay for like $600.
Get out
So,
of here.
I'm
By the
saving
way,
it.
if you die tomorrow, you know what your family is doing? Throwing that shit in the garbage.
No, they know better. They'll sell that shit on eBay.
It's going away. Trust me. Well, I'm going to say you're not going to die tomorrow. You're going to live a long time, and it'll be so
could
long
die
no one will
tomorrow.
remember who those books were about, and they'll be like, just throw it away.
They're going to build my funeral pyre with Hunter Shea books.
That's enough in your house. None of them paid for. All
and
right,
then you'll
Jack.
go, and then you'll go, this is Jack's creature.
Monster. Didn't I say monster?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
That's how much I love that book.
I'll read your epitaph, and I'll say, "This is Jack's creature."
No, literally, this is his copy.
This is it. All right.
All right.
What's in the news, my friend?
I have great news.
Oh,
Great news.
This is a great night. And it's Christing hot up in this attic tonight, by the way. This might be the last episode of
Christing.
the attic.
Christing hot.
Christing
Wow.
hot.
John Boyega is on for a Attack the Block sequel.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that is good news.
That is such great news. I love them. I love that movie.
Yeah.
So good.
How long has it been since that came out? It feels like it's been a while.
gonna say
2012?
2012?
11.
Yeah, 11.
Good guess.
Jesus.
I am going to rewatch that movie in the next couple of weeks because it's been a long time, and I love it. I love that movie. I love it.
Yeah,
Very
that's one of the best alien invasion movies ever.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's one of those ones too. When somebody's like asking you, "Can you give me something I haven't seen?" You're like, "Oh, have you ever seen Attack the Block?" No, what's that? So you serve up a good one.
Right.
No,
Mm.
from now on, I say, have you ever seen Fried Berry?
Yeah. Like, what is wrong with you?
Let's see. Is there anything more interesting in that one? No. One other quick story.
Super prepared. Hey, just check out this website.
Hey,
Yeah.
Anybody familiar with The Hunger, the vampire movie with the David
Catherine
Bowie,
Deneuve and Susan Sarandon.
Susan Sarandon.
I've never
Bela
actually seen that.
Lugosi's dead.
Yeah, so I am a fan of vampire movies. I saw that once, like when I was in high school or something, and it was not what I was looking for in a vampire movie, so I didn't really like it. I need to revisit it now as a grown up and see if
It's sexy.
I know it's too sexy, but I know that it also felt like it was boring. But I don't, like I said, I wanted like blood and fangs and crosses, and that was like people talking.
No, but there was like sex. There's a lot of sex in there.
Sex. Anyway, Warner Brothers is going to do a remake of it.
Oh boy, another remake.
Oh, you know what? I could go for that. By the way, do you know who wrote the book that was based on? Whitley Strieber,
Whitley Strieber.
the man who wrote Communion.
Hmm.
Where is Swamp Monster Massacre? Where's the Switch House? What
Where-
is this shit?
Where is Hunger? Where's the Hunger series?
I think
Yeah, okay.
Jason brings up a good point. Is yeah, okay, you can remake it, but where's the new stuff? There's 3 capable authors here with stuff that we could make movies for. At the same time,
It's good for a remake. It's like 40 years old.
it's 40 years old, and you know I'm not going to fight you on a sexy vampire movie. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if they keep it to that, but they probably won't.
Hmm.
They'll just be rubbing, like over the pants,
Dry
rubbing.
humping.
A lot of dry humping, a lot of fraudage. Nothing actual good.
Jesus Christ.
Look it up on YouPorn, kids, if you don't know.
okay,
Oh,
that's all I
man.
got.
Is that it? You're pulling the
That's
plug?
it.
Jack, what is that? What is it?
That is
It's
all the news that's fit to print.
All right, here we go. Let's go. What we watched and read.
We have such sights to show you.
I am so filled with glee, and I should be miserable. I'm so hot up here. It's like 100.
It's making
With
you
the fan
delirious.
on.
Yeah, it
I think
really
I'm
is.
delirious. Or maybe it's that Post Malone rosé. I don't know. All right, Jason, you are always our leadoff hitter. I think you're our strongest on the team leading off. And
Is it because I watched the worst shit?
well, yeah, totally. We want to get that out of the way so people can just forget about it by the end.
It's all downhill from from me.
Well, actually, tonight it's you and Fried Timmy wearing the appropriate shirt for.
I did. I wore it.
Leprechaun.
For this occasion.
You have a leprechaun shirt. I just now noticed that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah, I did it for you, man.
Hmm.
Why do I have a leprechaun shirt? Because leprechaun's fucking amazing. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason wants
so-
to reach around on Billy Barty, so that's close.
No. It's Warwick Davis.
And the guy from Pee Wee's Big Adventure that's in it. Francis.
I got to tell you, Tim, I don't understand why you'd have this shirt. I think I've seen this 2 or 3 times, and every time my recollection of it is better than the movie because I watch it and I'm like, this isn't very good.
Dude, the first one's great. I love the first one.
I mean,
come on, I'm Irish.
IMDb,
I'm
it has
telling
a-
you, pump the brakes,
Shit.
Tim.
It has a 4.8. I would say that's about right around a 5 out of 10. It's not a giant pile of shit, but it's just kind of there. It's not that entertaining. It's not like super funny, but it's also not gory or scary. It's kind of this in between, and neither one works all that well. So it's not
It's like when your favorite team, football team, goes 500. Either get to the playoffs or tank so we get a good pick.
sure, yeah, that actually is not bad.
Look at Jen Aniston right there, young and just so vibrant.
She is one of my positives I wrote down for this. She doesn't seem to care so much in the acting in this movie, but she looks like Jennifer Aniston. So
Which she should have cared. I mean, the career was not. It was nothing at that point. So
yeah, but I'm sure she read the script and was like, I do have to say Warwick Davis is amazing. He
Mhm.
absolutely is the reason to watch this. But yeah, it's not funny. It's not scary. There's almost no gore. How many times can they shoot him with a shotgun? That's the only thing they do.
I just like I like the campiness of it, and it's just like super fun. I watched it. It's one of those movies I watched when I was a kid, and I just like enjoyed. So I whenever I revisit it, and I've probably seen it about 6 or 7 times by now. It's just fun. I don't know. I don't take it too seriously. You can't take it too seriously. It's about a fucking leprechaun who's looking for his
No,
gold.
I expected it to be wilder than it is.
Yeah, no, it's definitely more just more campy, like early 90s camp, which I like.
Chad says it was shot as a kids movie and later they added gore. Which I
That
could
would
see
explain
that.
the weird tone.
Yeah, that could totally be it, because
I want me gold.
yeah,
Like that might explain why there's a 30-year-old man they keep referring to as a child.
That's Francis from Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
is that? The whole time I'm like, are they talking about a character that hasn't been introduced yet? Because I see like a 30-year-old dude and a 9-year-old running around.
I think a lot of
Oh,
people
that's
call
right,
us
the kid.
children.
I forgot about the kid.
So that would explain it. So yeah, this is for some reason like every 8 to 10 years, I think, oh, you know what? I should watch Leprechaun again. That's a good one. And then I watch it. I'm like, no, it's really not that great.
I love it. I enjoyed watching it again.
I enjoy Leprechaun. Oh, it's like a St. Patrick's Day. Like every other St. Patrick's Day, we put a Leprechaun movie on.
I think we need to establish something that we keep dancing around on this show. And it's going to come up for me later. I'm not saying it's a good movie. I'm saying I enjoyed it. I think that's what you're going at here.
Yes, and Tim has a childhood association with it, which you can't like.
I mean, it's not like Inception or I don't know. There Will Be Blood.
Like
It's not like
Inception with Leprechaun.
It's not like a good movie.
I drink your milkshake.
It's just fun, and it's I just enjoy it. Like Jack said it perfectly. You know, it's not a great movie or a good movie. It's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't even think it was that fun. I wanted more. Again, I didn't hate it. I really didn't hate it. But just the whole time, I'm like, it's in this weird middle ground where it's like not going for it in either direction. It's not like super funny or super ridiculous or super gory and over the top. It's just, it's there.
I hear what you're saying there, because when you watch it, you kind of think like, are they trying to pull off a serious Leprechaun horror movie? Because later in the series, they definitely lean into the funny.
Yeah.
Well, later
That's
it goes.
what
Oh,
I'm-
here you go, Jason.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm hoping. So yeah, it was fine. I mean, look, I'm coming off the Howling series. Okay, this is
Yeah, this is the
fucking
best
Citizen
thing you've
Kane.
watched in a month.
Yeah, I'm so happy watching Leprechaun.
This
Jason-
is Inception compared to the Howling series.
Jason
Yeah.
or Tim, can either one of you do a Jennifer Aniston impression?
No,
No,
not even gonna try.
I don't even want to try to see this or hear it.
Yeah, that's no.
There's nothing
Inappropriate.
they can do except get their nipples really hard, like she was on Friends.
all the time.
Which was it was insane. I'm like, is anybody noticing this? Of course they are. Of course they are. Nothing happens by accident on TV sets. All right. Well, we've got one enthusiastic thumbs up, one thumb sideways in his ear. So there we go on Leprechaun. I like it. It's a thumbs up for me. I think it's a thumbs up for Jack, right?
Oh God, when that movie came out, I anticipated that coming out, and we watched that thing a whole bunch of times because anytime we just would in conversation, I need me gold just became part of our dialect. So
Yeah.
but again, I don't think it the quality of the movie versus my enjoyment of the movie are two different things.
Yeah,
You go down to
I
bottom,
need more
you hear a lot
Warwick
of, I need me ciggies. I need me ciggies. You got me ciggies.
And also, Jason's frequency of watching it kind of works. Like that's one of those ones you watch like every 8 years or so. You don't need to like put it on every year.
Only when you see a double rainbow. All right, Jack. What'd you watch? Something
Okay.
Italian, I hope. No.
German.
Oh, German.
You're familiar with Robert Eggers of The Witch and The Lighthouse?
Love them.
Yep.
Well, he has said that he wants to do or is planning to do a remake of Nosferatu. And I have been meaning to. Yeah, I have been meaning to go back and watch the original 1922 for a long time because I haven't seen it since
1922.
80s or 90s. Yeah, 1922. So
In the
I remember the
theater.
premiere. You got a Count Orlok soda mug, and
There was
popcorn.
a man playing a squeeze box in the front of the theater.
And they gave us tomatoes and lettuce to throw if we didn't like it.
Shit was expensive back then.
But the fresh produce was so good, though. So I watched the original silent movie Nosferatu with Max Schreck. Everybody thinks of Max Schreck now as Christopher Walken from
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns, but Max Schreck was the guy who played Count Orlok. The interesting story, if you don't know about this movie, is that this is the Dracula story told without the rights to tell the Dracula story. So this came out, Bram Stoker's wife sued their ass, and all the copies were ordered destroyed. And luckily, some of them weren't destroyed. And I don't know how many years later.
Wow.
They were rescued. And so luckily we have copies. And I guess there are varieties of these where, different word slides have been put in and things like that. So I just found one on Prime. I know it's also on Shudder, but I watched it, and I'm not going to tell you that this is my favorite vampire movie or anything like that. I've only watched it a couple of times, but I think especially for you guys who are authors, it's so interesting to watch this movie. You're watching something from 1922. So the storytelling, it's a silent movie. You don't have anything to base your vampire on or anything, movies are new and vampires are new, and they came up with this, and there's some special effect things they do and things like that. And it's funny how long it kind of takes to get from point A to point B because of the way, it's a silent movie and things like that. But some of the things they do are really impressive. And look at the Count. He's just terrifying looking.
He's still to me, the scariest vampire ever put on film. And I can't imagine how it scared the living crap out of people in 1922.
Yeah. Dude, just those hands alone are freaky as shit.
Yeah. The other thing that I kind of didn't realize was there's always been something to the sunlight and vampires, but this is kind of the first place where they established that the sun would destroy a vampire. In the book Dracula actually moves around during the day. I think he's weakened, but this was the one where it. There's also a undertone of rats and the plague in this that I kind of had forgotten about. So again, like I said, this isn't one of those ones that I put in every October or anything like that. But if you're looking to go back and check something out from the past, you probably should at least see this movie once to check it out. It's really good.
Yeah,
if you're a film nerd or a horror nerd, it's a requirement. At some point, you got to watch this.
Yeah, it's a little long for a silent movie, just for people now. I think it's hard, but if you see it in the right venue, like we saw the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari with a band from Dallas who had reinterpreted the music. It was a freaking blast. So it depends on. I think at this point it depends on the music that kind of accompanies it, because there was silent films had musicians in the theaters playing along.
I also think if you watch this on different platforms, you might get different music. With different,
Turner Classic Movies plays this a lot, and they do silent movies Sundays or something like that. So they play it a lot. But yeah, it's a requirement, especially for you, Jack. I mean, Mr. Vampire.
So like I said, I haven't just seen it in so long, so I wanted to before Eggers actually announces that he's doing it and everybody rushes to go watch it again. I was like, let me just especially coming off some of the Bat and Rat movies and things like that. I was like,
let
me just get out of that for a while.
Well, you're kind of back in Bats.
Circle.
All right. Jack, you're an expert on vampires. I am a lover of all things Bigfoot. And I found a Bigfoot movie that I didn't know existed until a few weeks ago. You guys ever hear of Night of the Demon? Not demons.
No.
Demon?
Yeah. Demon. My Night of the Demon. This is a movie from 1980. This movie, the transfer I saw on Prime was, I think it was the film canisters were tied behind a chuck wagon and dragged through the American Southwest.
Oh,
and then they were set on fire and then partially restored.
oh, look
but
at this. This is what
it's
I'm going to
very
do to you. It scares.
Dude, I'm so glad you pointed out that scene. This is the most violent, gory, bloody Bigfoot movie ever made, and I have no idea how I did not know about this. Like this dude, they showed this dude with like the face covering. That's because a Bigfoot has basically ripped his fucking face off, and he's like trying to tell the story in retrospect. It's very similar to Boggy Creek 2, where it's a professor takes some students out looking for a Bigfoot. But this is basically, oh my God, he looks like a mentally impaired Chaka from Land
He looks
of the
very
Lost.
high.
Yeah.
It's nice for him to tease up his hair first, too.
Looks
When
like
the
fried
gore
berry.
isn't when the gore isn't nuts, like the rest is funny as hell. The acting is
This
so
movie looks
bad.
awesome.
Yeah, it does look fun.
It's so bad it's good. This is an SBIG without a doubt.
All right.
This
That
feels
biker-
like after Monster Men 1.
Well, oh God, this is like as these this group is looking for Bigfoot. They'll tell campfire stories every night to scare the living crap out of each other. And the biker one, literally, this dude is on a bike and he goes to take a whiz, and the Bigfoot comes out of the bushes and pulls his cock off.
What year
And
is this movie?
You see 80. You see the Schween, you see it get pulled off, and then you see him bleed to death against his bike. It was
That's
worth it
amazing.
just for that alone.
I'm watching
So-
this.
all
It's
in.
the I Spit on Your Grave of Bigfoot movies.
It totally is.
Where is this?
It was on Prime. I found it.
This is gonna
and-
be
This is $2.
glorious.
Yeah, it was worth every penny, and it wasn't a lot of pennies, and it was worth it because,
It's probably a little steep for Jack, but for the rest of us, it's a rental.
well,
No,
if
it's
maybe
not- it's
someone
not a-
will gift it to him. Someone will give
not
him a $2.99 Amazon gift card.
It's not a book. I'll watch this.
Yeah, I'll watch it, dude. You have to watch this movie. It's like the cheesiest, goriest Bigfoot movie you've ever thought never existed.
I won't watch this without you. That's my thing. Like I'm not
Oh.
gonna sit down by myself and watch this.
We will
This
have
is gonna
so
be-
much fun. Bigfoot sounds like an asshole. Well, he is in this movie. He is definitely not worth saving. Unlike
Yeah.
Bigfoot in the Bronx, where he's a nice guy. He's just misunderstood. Oh. So, yeah, Night of the Demon, not to be confused, Night of the Demons.
I can't believe I've never heard of this. I got to watch it now.
Dude, that's why I love this genre. I mean, I've been watching horror movies now for 5 decades, and I'm still discovering stuff that I never heard of from decades ago. So there's
It's
nothing.
It's the best
like
thing
it.
about Prime. People just upload any shit they find on Prime, and it's just gold.
Prime, Tubi, I'm discovering Pluto. All that garbage is out there for us.
Pluto has so many ads. Oh my god.
Tubi's not bad with ads, by the way.
Tubi's not bad.
I watched
IMDb
another
TV is
Bigfoot movie,
brutal.
but I'm going to talk about that, I think, next week. And this movie is Prime. All right, Jason. Now, are you and Tim? Are you? No. Well, because you guys talked at the same time, so I figure you're reviewing the same movies, or are you not?
I have my own movies that I did.
Yeah, I thought you guys were in the buddy booth with Leprechaun, but okay.
I'll be
Buddy
brief.
booth.
I'll be brief
Whoa,
because
whoa.
I'd rather.
Whoa. Tubby time is only for you and I, all right?
By the way, I have brought up Frottage and Buddy Booths in the same episode. I feel like I've done all I can do. I should drop the mic right now.
Mm-hmm.
Please
Get out
for-
now. Get out now.
Yeah.
for all of our sakes. I will talk about my movies briefly since I kind of am tag teaming with Jason. I watched Saw 3 this week, continuing a journey through all the Saw movies. And this one definitely is more brutal than the first two. It's
Yay.
it's insane. You know, it's funny. Like the first two movies, when you said it's like torture porn, I'm like, I don't know. The first two aren't too bad, and it has like a good story, and it focuses more on story. And then I watched 3, and I was like, oh, yeah, they're kind of hinging on the violence and like the creative kills, which I like.
It's got a
but
good cast.
It's
does.
yeah,
Yeah.
the cast isn't bad at all. This
Tina
one's
Meyer,
more.
Lee Winnell.
This one's more about Shawnee Smith's character, and it basically follows her and her journey and how she kind of is kind of saw Jigsaw's protege.
I hated her hair in this movie.
But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it as well. I feel like the first three are definitely the strongest of it, and I will briefly talk about 4 on the next go around. But overall,
I'm not looking forward to watching these.
And it's coming.
I feel like you might not hate them. I don't know. I think the kills are kind of creative.
Jason's gonna despise this.
You
I
think
don't
so?
see myself liking it.
Yeah, he's not. This is
I do.
not
I
gonna
really
go
do
well.
like the first one though. I saw it in the theater and loved it. So maybe I can make it a little further than I'm anticipating. We'll see.
For me, prime Shawnee Smith is the Blob.
Oh yeah.
Mm, yeah.
That was prime. And Becker.
Or
Or
the Garrus Stand adaptation.
I've
No.
never seen it.
yeah, we're letting that verify. Thanks, Mick, for the attempt.
It's too long. It's my favorite book, and I've never watched the movie.
But it's really good,
Me
you
either.
guys.
Is the stand
no,
the
it
one
isn't.
that starts with "Don't fear the Reaper"?
Yes.
Yeah,
Amazing
so-
opening.
Wait,
scene.
are you going to make us watch this for the 300th episode, Tim?
I might if
No
I'm
way,
still
man! It's
alive
like
by
6
that
hours
time.
long.
Another
At
Stephen
least-
King
I
crap
think it might be
fest?
longer. I think it's 8 hours long.
So I had roommates, and one of them went to the video store, and I said, "Oh, get a horror movie," and he comes back with The Stand, and I'm like, "We're supposed to watch this tonight, dude? It's a mini series, you idiot." He's like, "Oh," so we pop it in. We watch like a half hour. We're like, "No way."
Dunsy. I got to reread The Stand again. I think it's been 3 years. I'm due.
yeah, I need to reread it. It's probably been 10 years.
I got to bring it down. I got the giant hardcover. Man, and it's a workout. When you hold that, your forearms are like Popeye when you're done watching.
I have a
reading that.
first edition of it, which I'm pretty excited about.
Nice. I'm breaking
I've
into
never
your house.
listened to an audiobook. I should try that.
You should, because it's amazing. I did it last year, I think, or 2 years ago, and I had a blast with it.
That might be the way I read The Stand, because there's no way I'm.
Dude,
It's
it's,
gotta be
so
like
good.
40
Get ready
hours
for
long.
97 days of audio.
I think it's like 50 hours, like 55 hours or something.
Somebody just tell me about The Stand over here. So I'm excited with you.
You want the Cliff's Notes?
Yeah. I can't stand it.
Oh. All right, Jason, now it's your turn.
All right, watch Leprechaun 2.
Oh, God. I need another beer.
I like this a little bit better than the first, but I thought they were fairly comparable. The characters had a little more to them in this, not a lot, but a little bit. They don't just shoot him with the shotgun over and over and over, so that was nice. But it didn't have Jennifer Aniston's legs, so that was like knocked it down 3 points.
But it had a pretty girl in it, right?
Yeah, with the most obvious body double for boobs I have ever seen in my life. It was like a super close up, like you could see this much. It was hilarious.
Don't you love when you see a girl who's flat chested and when she goes to take a shower, she's like got double D's? You're like, where did that come from?
This wasn't super far off. This had a little bit better gore. Actually, I would say quite a bit better. There was somebody ripped a finger off, and there's a great disemboweling scene where gold fills up a guy's stomach, and they cut it out, which is pretty cool. They don't show a lot of it, but just enough. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
It's
That's an Irish thing, by the way.
What?
But cutting out, like if you marry an Italian, she's Sicilian. She'll cut out your stomach because she found it. You swallowed a penny. That's like something my grandmother would have said when I was dating a Sicilian.
all right.
Thank God grandma died when I married a Sicilian.
It's funny
Gone
because
well.
our peoples, the generation before us, hated each other, and now we all party together.
Right now we're all making babies together.
I'm trying to there's a dumbass story about a bride in Leprechaun 2 that I'm like, well,
Yeah.
Oh
this is
yeah,
nonsense. And then the leprechaun also can't tell the difference between his own gold and chocolate wrapped gold or gold wrapped chocolate, which is,
Chocolate wrapped gold sounds delicious.
yeah, well, that does
Yeah.
sound pretty decent.
It's gonna hurt your
So
teeth.
it's maybe a little better than the first, but it's also it's fine.
I love it.
Did you like the
as well.
humor?
It's funnier, yes, it's funnier and gorier, so I do like it better. It just I'm still waiting for it to really find its stride, but I did like this better than the first one. So yeah,
Maybe I think the first one, you might be the rare case where the first one will be your least favorite, and you're just going to like them as they get going.
could be. It's
I'm
trending that way
thinking
so far. So I'm looking forward to it because I've never seen all of. I don't even know if I've ever seen 3, to be honest. So from here on out, I've seen like
How
one
many
here,
are there?
one there.
19.
Like 8, 9, something like that.
Oh God, are there that many?
Yeah, there's
Son of a
4, and then there's Leprechaun in Space. There's Leprechaun in the
The Hood.
Hood.
In the
There's
Hood.
Leprechaun.
I thought that was like 3 and 4. That's like
I think that's
no?
like 5 or 6. And then isn't there 2 in the Hood? There's Leprechaun
Back in the Hood.
Back in the Hood. And then there's the newer one, right? That just came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we
So
did
That's
that.
our
We
most
did
watched
that.
episode.
I
Yeah.
wasn't there for that one, so
I
still
did that,
haven't-
so I'm not watching that again.
I still haven't
No.
seen it.
Just watch watch the episode we did. That's all you need.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't
That's
remember much about it at
I
all.
think it has like 20,000 views.
Yeah, I don't know why that one, but yeah, so it's better than the first. Still not great, but trending in the right direction.
All right.
Warwick
Speaking
Davis
of
is
trending
amazing.
in the right direction, Fried Barry Manilow. How are you trending? What's your Q rating?
I would give it 3 Copacabanas.
That's not good.
Since I watched Nosferatu, I decided to watch the 1979 remake Nosferatu the Vampire, directed by Werner
Werner
Herzog,
von Braun. Werner Herzog.
Herzog and starring Klaus Kinski.
Mm.
Now,
I can only imagine what that set was like with those two lunatics.
this one, it's got some sets that look like they were filmed in the same spot. I don't know if they were or not. I saw this when I was a kid, and it bored the living hell out of me. So I was like, okay, I need to watch this. And I'm happy to report I appreciated it more this time. It still is a slow movie, and there are times where it is just overdoing it with trying to be artsy. There's this thing where they show like a bat flying in slow motion. That scene that you're showing though, right there, go back one picture. There's a scene where the person walks through the town and the plague has kind of hit the town and there's rats all over the place and coffins. It's a really cool shot that
Nice.
Goes through. Visually, this movie is amazing. And I liked it the best when it was recreating scenes from the first one or going close to the first one. It veers off a little bit and it goes a little slow and they change it a little bit. So I'm glad I watched it back to back because, again, like I've said before, if I had just watched this out of the blue, I wouldn't have appreciated stuff that was from the first one, and some things that they improved on, and some of, you know what I mean. I can't say that I like this movie, but I appreciated it. I think there are some people who probably love this movie. I think it's another one that's worth looking at because I think it's a noble remake attempt, even if it's
Right.
not exactly my cup of tea. I appreciate what he was trying to do, and it looks frigging amazing.
I haven't seen it forever. How is Clint Kinski? Because he is another. He's on another. He's
I
operating
think-
another plane.
Yeah, I thought he was a great choice because he's just so weird. And there's some stuff that Count Orlok does in the original one, like he picks up his own coffin and carries it around the town, and he does the same exact thing. And there's just he plays like this tragic vampire who's like sad that he can't die. It's
Right.
kind of like the Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Die. I can't.
Love that movie.
In both of these movies, Van Helsing has he's either not really in it or has very little to do.
Yeah,
It's
he's
the
too cheesy
woman
for that whole thing. I
the
think.
woman is really it's his beauty that killed the beast. And the spoiler alert for 20.
Yeah. By the way, if you like Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski, their movie Fitzcarraldo is absolutely stunning. If you want, it's not horror, but if you want to see, they literally took like a steamboat and moved it up a hill in the Amazon rainforest and down a hill, and he made them actually do it. And I think Kinski tried to kill him during the making of the movie. It has to be seen to be believed. And Crawl Space with Kinski is just bananas.
Yeah, this is another one I kind of think of just like if you're a fan of the genre and you want to see an interesting remake of a classic, this is one to watch. But just be ready for a slow movie.
That's all right. Hey, speaking of slow, what's up, Tim?
What?
I caught him staring at something. I don't know. I figured this is a perfect time to transition over.
It's not my turn. It's your turn.
No, I switched it up because before I felt bad. I felt bad because I thought that you and
you're
Jason
throwing me off.
Tim, you're not good at improv. I threw the Jennifer Aniston. You couldn't do it. Now he changed it up a little bit. You got to sharpen up. You got to sharpen up.
Oh, I have Josh Mallerman's autograph. Can't wait to show the wife.
Oh my god! All right, so it's my turn. Is that what's happening right now?
Yes.
All right.
I'm making it so.
I also watched Saw 4. This movie, definitely a step down from 3, in my opinion. More torture porny scenes.
Yay!
Just some brutal graphic stuff. And the story was kind of all over the place. There's like multiple main characters. They never really establish one main character. And then for like the second half of the movie, it's all about Jigsaw and like his past and how he became what he is. So it's a strangely structured movie and definitely a step down. So that's my brief opinion on Saw 4.
That's it. All right. All you need to know, ladies and gentlemen, a step down from 3.
Dude, there's some crazy stuff. There's like crazy stuff in there that like that scene that you just showed has nothing to do with the movie at all.
Is Shawnee Smith in it? But like a little bit, right?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, all the main characters from some of the previous ones are in it in some way. Dina Meyer's in it again. Daniel Wahlberg is in it for a bit. Pretty much everybody's in there at some point. And they even bring it back to the first one. Cary Elwes is in it for like a scene, and
I cannot stand him.
You don't like Cary Elwes?
No, I don't. Like, he's a guy, if I see him in the movie, I'm like, nah.
That's kind of messed
I'll
up.
go watch the next Eric Roberts movie.
How dare you? Eric Roberts is a gem.
Cary Elwes is a classically trained actor.
Yeah, whatever.
Great
so was Ed
actor.
Norton on The Honeymooners.
As you wish.
Who was great.
Hello, ball.
But
Jeez,
yeah.
no.
I also didn't hate it though.
Yeah, you didn't hate it. Jason will. I'm going to promise you that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're Americans, and one thing we love in America is the French. So I popped on over in my Learjet and went over to Lyon, France, and I watched a movie on Netflix because I wanted to be authentic. I wanted to watch a French movie in France. This is the kind of fucking money I have. I watched Girls with Balls. I don't know if you guys have. I know. I thought it was something else, and it turned out to be a horror movie.
Canceled now.
I said I could talk about this movie now. It's not something I just have to, wad up in my shame. This is a French comedy horror movie. It is about a all-girls volleyball team who has, a very irreverent cast of pretty girls and some strange-looking girls. And they are led by their coach, who is this portly, very excitable dude who, after winning the championship, they get in this bus, this like a little yellow school bus that's made out to be like their tour bus, which is really kind of cool inside. And they're driving through the French countryside, and they get lost, and they come to this like little diner that is run by like weird. Here's something I learned. France has hillbillies, and they call them hillbillies. So it was good to know that there are hillbillies everywhere. Jason, you would be right at home in France.
Oh, that's good to hear. So I'm sure they
like if you ever Roman Polanski yourself out of this country, you can go right to France with them, and you'll be fine in the hills of France.
Well, I'm gonna get Roman Polanski if you keep calling me out.
So anyway,
Roman.
But so I watched this. I put this movie on. I had like an hour and a half to kill. I'm like, let me see what we got on here. This movie was really freaking funny. And what happens is they eventually are being chased by these hillbilly hunters who are like hunting them down one by one. And then there's a lot of dynamics between the volleyball team. This movie is flat out funny. I was laughing my ass off in it. And when the gore hits, the gore really hits. My only complaint was at one point, the coach, he runs away in the movie. And then you show him like 20 minutes later on the road dealing with something. And then he comes back in the last act covered in blood and looks like a totally different person. And he's talking like he's already done a lot of stuff against the Hillbillies, but we never see it. So it's in the cutting room floor. So I actually want the extended version of this movie.
Is this movie dubbed or in English?
It was dubbed. No. It was, well, I had to watch the
Subtitles?
The subtitles. It was excellent. I couldn't believe how much fun this movie was. And I think the title alone would scare a lot of people. Like, I don't want the NSA to know I just put this movie on my thing, but it's more fun than it has a right to be. So, thumbs up to the French.
I can't tell you I'm typically running out to watch French films. They're not typically my thing.
You know what? You should, because they don't give a crap about woke culture at all. So if you want to see something where people can take a chance and maybe have some real fun, I think that's your place you're going to have to go. Because
one of my favorite movies is a French film, Raw.
Oh, Raw is so good.
So good.
And High Tension. I mean, there's so many good French movies.
Yeah.
The French Connection.
Those are like the only two I can think of that I really like.
Is Irreversible French the one with Monica Bellucci where she is?
Yeah, that's a rough movie. Dude.
Yeah, it's not one I revisit.
It's a phenomenal movie. So,
ugh. Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you, sir.
Swimming Pool is good. A good kind of taut, sexy thriller. There's so many good French movies.
Brotherhood of the Wolf. That's a good one.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one. All right, you're
the Pink Panther, Clouseau.
And the same guy who did that did Silent Hill. So, I mean, technically, does that make it a French movie?
No.
Right.
Oh.
Alexandre Aja. I mean, he's from France.
Forget Paris with Billy Crystal.
Get Paris. I'm all about Gerard Depardieu. Where are you?
Now you're talking.
Oh, American Werewolf in Paris.
Oh, I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you.
Dude, that movie is so good. Oh my god, I love it.
I hate that. I hate that movie.
Let me clarify something.
How much I love Robert Loggia.
Let me just stop.
Oh
I need the floor. I need the floor.
Floor is yours. Something. I'm running.
Jason. Earlier tonight, I was only kidding around when we were snapping at each other. It's a work. It's
oh my god,
part of the shtick. That was all kidding. This is not. Tim, I'm gonna hunt you down and kill you. I'm gonna tear you apart. I'm gonna fill your belly up with chocolate covered gold. Chocolate covered gold.
You can't even be angry with a straight face. I can't take you seriously.
I'm gonna fill your gorgeous head.
Please don't fill anything.
I'm gonna take an IPA so that it'll help wash it down.
Beat him like a pinata.
Really, American Werewolf in Paris. I mean, it's got the guy from That Thing You Do. I'll give you that.
Tom Everett Scott, I think, is in that. Oh, dude, I love that movie. It's so much fun.
All right, episode 225. Right.
The CGI is awful, but the movie's fun. I like it.
No, it isn't.
I saw it when it came out. I freaking hated it. I have not watched it since.
I don't remember. His wife forced him because he made it.
This is on par with Blair Witch 2.
I haven't honestly. I haven't seen it in like 20 years, but I do remember.
Your taste belongs in a fucking landfill in Staten Island. I swear to God.
The opening scene isn't like the girl's like trying to kill herself by jumping off the Eiffel Tower. Like that's such a cool scene. I don't know. I like that.
Yeah.
Movie.
All right. Great. As soon as we get a break where there isn't anything interesting out, we got to put this one in.
I think they still have it on DVD too.
Oh come on!
Oh dude, what's the matter with you?
I'll have to look for it.
That movie's so hated. I wonder if we're going to struggle to find it anywhere to stream.
All right, there are a couple of movies. There are several movies that are sacred in my life.
Why is it so hated?
Caddyshack and American Werewolf in London are two.
Yeah,
it's like, what's the best? What's the best sports movie? Caddyshack. What's the worst sports movie? Caddyshack 2.
Caddyshack 2.
American Werewolf. I mean, it's hard to do with werewolves because we just watched The Howling 7, so it's hard to say. It's the worst.
Jason will probably like it after watching all this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I digress.
Is it my turn? Because I have.
This is
I
why
could
you're on the
piggy-
show.
I
You
could-
just saw 4. What's your
All right, I was just going to
Reader's
piggyback off the
Digest
werewolf.
version of a review?
I was just trying to piggyback off the
Pig.
werewolf talk, but whatever.
Let him
Do
go.
it.
Go
Do
ahead,
it.
Ted.
We don't
Go
care.
wild. There's no rules. Improv,
So,
baby.
like literally a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about The Howling, like we said that we needed more werewolf movies, right? Like we were like, yes, we need a
Good
lot.
ones.
There's a new
So
one coming out.
yeah. Well, I went on Prime and there's like 4 brand new werewolf movies that just dropped. And one of them is called Bloodthirsty. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Not only have I heard
No.
of this, I presented this to you guys as a potential movie of the week.
Oh, okay. Well,
Right.
I never
Yeah.
listened to you, so I don't.
I know you
don't.
I just can't remember them.
So
Oh,
like
look
your
at that rating on IMDb. It's
your
solid.
your emails are instantly deleted.
That's
Well, this
what-
has a
you just-
4.6 out of 10. So I'm
Remember
sure
when
you love
Tim
this.
never fought back?
Block
I
him.
love this new Tim. This
Yeah,
Tim is great.
I get some coffee in me, and I'm just crazy.
I like it.
So yeah, this movie. So interesting stuff. So the main character is a pop singer, like an indie pop singer, not like a Miley Cyrus pop singer, but like I don't know. I don't really know any indie pop singers, but he's like
Poe from the 90s.
Billie
yeah,
Eilish.
Poe from the 90s, the House of Leaves girl.
Look at those eyes.
That's cool.
But yeah, it did have some cool effects. But anyway, so she's a pop star and she goes to this record producer's house like in the wilderness to record her new album because he's like just like a super cool studio recorder producer. And but he has like a checkered past and he was kind of brought up on charges for murder, but got out of them. So anyway, she and her girlfriend, they go to this place and she starts turning into a werewolf and it's just crazy shit starts happening and people end up dying and it's real a pleasant movie. I think it definitely is like a 5 out of 10, I would say. Had some cool werewolf effects, but you could definitely tell they were cheap and they did a lot of like quick cuts. So like it wasn't like full on like transformation. But the story was kind of weird, kind of predictable. Definitely had a lot of the tropes that you would see. Like, so she's a vegan, and of course, she starts turning into a werewolf. So she has like this insatiable need for meat, and like that's like a big part of it. So it kind of played on a lot of familiar tropes. It was interesting to learn that the person who wrote the movie and I guess came up with the concept of the movie is an indie pop star. And she did like a lot of the music and stuff for it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I don't know if it's $6.99. I wouldn't say like go out and
No.
rent it for $6.99. But if it ends up being on Prime and you're looking for like just a decent werewolf movie to watch, like
I'm glad. See, I'm glad you did this, Sam, because I was going to pay and watch it like next week. So
yeah,
No,
Well,
that's a whole month of Shudder. No way.
I'm doing you a favor there, pal. Even though you
By
hate
the-
me for liking. By the way, real quick before I move on, one of the other choices was a movie called I'm going to butcher the name, but it's not far off. Werewolf in London, I think is just the name of it.
Oh god.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And literally, the cover looks exactly like American Werewolf in London, but it has like a 2021 release date, and it's ridiculous looking.
That is
So
ridiculous.
you ordered the steelbook.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. The Poacher's replacing Army of Darkness next week.
I'm going on eBay right now to see if I can find a
Army in
Blu-ray.
Darkness.
a Blu-ray of American Werewolf in Paris because I need that movie.
Oh, son of a.
Jesus.
Oh, before we move to Jason, I just want to call out Jabba Caroni. Wants to know why I recommended Slacks. I will tell you why. Because I have joy in my heart and laughter in my soul.
If
And
you
I
have
can
joy in
appreciate a
his-
good time.
You have joy in your slacks.
I got joy in my Slacks. So if you can't appreciate a good time, I feel sorry for you. All right. So, Jason, what'd you watch? Please say it was
I-
something other than Leprechaun.
I had to watch something new, so I watched The Cleansing Hour on Shudder.
Oh,
When
I
you
can't
guys
wait.
seen this?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I reported on
Uh,
this a while back.
Yeah, I also did.
I didn't even
Wow.
put it on my list.
Okay, that must be why I had it on my list. Uh, I liked this a lot.
was
I
good.
was very pleasantly surprised. Very pleasantly surprised because I hate these movies. I hate exorcism movies.
Yes, you
They're
do.
all the same goddamn thing. It drives
Mm-hmm.
me crazy. But this one was different. I liked the live streaming thing they did. I liked
Like this.
how quickly people died. It wasn't like just
Like
people
this.
standing over reading the Bible over and over and over. It was like shit was happening, and the gore ramped up throughout till the end when it was getting pleasantly crazy. They definitely didn't have a lot of money, and that's one of my complaints. Is the movie was really dark. So I don't know if it's because maybe they couldn't get a really high end camera or it was Shutter's bit rate slow or something. I don't know what the deal was, but it was kind of hard for me to see. But the writing was actually pretty decent for a low budget exorcism movie. I was surprised. Like the dialogue was pretty good. The only thing I really had problems with is, it starts doing the telekinetic demon crap that happens in all these movies. And I'm thinking, okay, why doesn't the demon just do this? Why doesn't it do that? Why isn't it stopping them from doing this? But I thought they kind of wrapped all that up in the end that made it make sense. So
I think your opinion on this movie is based on your watching garbage for the last month. I'm going to go out on a limb.
This is a surprisingly decent movie.
I
was
should
surprised
note,
by it too.
I went in with zero expectations because I
Same.
do not like these movies. So that probably helped. But I thought it was
I'm
well done.
surprised you pressed play on that.
I felt it was like a good Shutter movie for a night you want to watch something.
Mhm.
Right. And wake up and forget what you watched.
Yeah.
How dare you?
So mean.
Oh, I'm sure
All right,
the
I'm done.
director's watching right now. All
Well,
right, Jack.
Good job, dude.
What you got?
All right. So since I watched some pretty artsy stuff, I said, how can I follow this up
artsy.
and close strong? So I went back and I watched Lost Boys: The Thirst from 2010,
Jesus.
which is the third movie
This-
in the
this is
Lost
you ending
Boys
strong?
movie. Yeah.
All
I
right.
needed some junk food.
Holy crap.
So apparently there's a second movie, Lost Boys, I don't even know the Tribe, that I have not seen, that's supposed to be horrible.
Oh,
This one is
God.
the Frog Brothers are featured in this movie. Grown-up Frog Brothers.
Jesus, why?
So Corey Feldman.
Look at this image, for the love of God.
I named my daughter after Star in the Lost Boys, and I refuse to watch these movies.
There are several like callback, like they show some scenes with them. Corey Haim, like flashbacks from the
Really?
original. Yeah, because and in it, spoiler alert, like his character from the Lost Boys would turn into a vampire, and the Frog Brother had to put him down.
Oh,
Remember how I said earlier this is not a good movie, but I enjoyed it?
yeah.
After like watching slow artsy Nosferatu, this was like the Chinese food junk food that I just needed. I just needed a good stupid sci-fi Corey Feldman doing the Batman voice for an hour and a half.
Jesus Christ.
Dude,
The
this
other-
isn't junk food. You found a half-eaten burger in the trash and ate it.
Well, it's Lost Boys. He found some lo mein in the
So
trash.
there, right there.
This
Can
is
it-
why you watched it.
Tanit Phoenix.
No.
Tanit Phoenix.
Now we know.
Yep. Is she on the
Giddy.
cover?
Giddy up. No, she's
Yeah,
not.
she must have been in the thumbnail.
No, I watched this because of the
At
Frog
least
Brothers.
part of her.
So the
She's
funny
in the
thing about
trailer.
giving the Frog Brothers their own movie is like giving Kramer his own TV show. It's like you were great in Seinfeld in little bursts, though you
Great
don't want a
secondary
whole.
character.
Yeah. So watching a whole thing now, the other Frog Brother is not in it very much, which was kind of disappointing. But he gets his due at the end. This is listen. If you have to be like me and just enjoy bad vampire movies, like it's no American Werewolf in Paris, but it's like I said, it's not a good movie, but I enjoy it. Like I said, I just watched a silent movie from 1922, and then this like artsy Werner Herzog thing, and I was just like,
Wow.
I need to just watch something mindless and stupid. And I watch it, and I learned a little bit about the Lost Boys lore. But it's so funny how little in common it has with the actual Lost Boys movie.
Good God.
But so yeah, Lost Boys.
You took one for the
Yeah, I
collective
can
team.
chalk up another vampire movie I've watched.
Jesus Christ. The best was when I had my daughter meet the Lost Boys at a convention. And I said, they go, "Oh, what's your name?" I said, "Star." And they went bananas for the entire thing. And she's like 10 at the time. Anytime she walks by, like, and they're drunk, they're like, "Star, get over here." And they're taking pictures with her. I'm like, I think I need to get her away from the Lost Boys. This isn't going too well. I was also the same trade show where Gary Busey was there with his son, and Gary was out of his effing mind for the entire. The theme of the entire show was, "Have you seen my dad?" His son just going, "Have you seen my dad?" Yeah, he was just pinching Adrian Barbeau's ass under a table. That's the beauty of horror conventions. You see a lot of stuff.
No good sex.
No good sex.
Damn it.
All right, I'm going to talk about a book for a guy who really doesn't need my promotion, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. I read Stephen King's Later.
Oh, I read that too.
Later. I was in Stop and Shop picking up some groceries, and it was there. That's the beauty of distribution, ladies and gentlemen. So picked it up. I like his hard case crime. Like Joyland is my favorite King book of all time.
Joyland's great.
Great.
It's weird that it's hard case crime because it's really a paranormal book because it centers around this. It starts after 9/11. Like it's like the last 10 years, basically. And it's a boy and his mom who's an agent. She's a literary agent, and he can see and speak to dead people. Shades of what the fuck's that Shyamalan movie?
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. And he actually references it. I don't remember because I hate that movie.
The little known Sixth Sense.
That movie. I walked out on that movie.
What? What?
I did because I figured out the ending like half an hour in. I looked at my friend. I said, "You want to get a cigar? Just go outside and smoke." He said, "Yeah." So I was like, "All right, good."
How about the
So-
Crying Game?
I love the Crying Game. I was
Did
just
you
waiting
figure
for the
that one out?
penis. I did, and I stayed to the end. So basically, this is the mom. She's had a terrible breakup, and she's having an affair with a cop who is a woman. It's a lesbian thing, and the cop is kind of like, she turns out to be not such a good kind of cop. She's kind of like a bad kind of cop, and she starts to use his abilities to help solve some crimes of dead people, so he can talk to the dead people and she can solve the crimes. The concept is really good. His writing, again, is always good. It absorbs you. It sucks you in. What threw me off every single time was, I'm like, this book is set in basically modern day New York City, and everybody talks like they grew up in Maine in 1955. So every thought, every sentence, I'm like, if you said that out loud here in New York, you would have your ass handed to you, or people just look at you like you're a freaking moron and ignore you. So his homespun, kind of like Northern New England sensibilities that he has does not translate to New York. As a New Yorker, this book is ridiculous. As his editor, who I'm sure lives in New York, he should have been like, "Dude, Steve, nobody says this shit here in New York." But he's Stephen King, so I'm sure his editor says nothing.
How do you get to Times Square? How do you get to Times Square? You can't get there from here.
You can't get there. So you'll take a left over by the hay baler.
Sometimes dead is better.
Yeah.
So you couldn't stand it, but I won't notice or give a shit.
Yeah.
Because I won't be
You
able to tell the
probably won't, but as New Yorkers, it's pretty fucking offensive to the way. But whatever. I enjoyed the story. I really did. But I kept getting taken out by the dialogue. I'm like, this is not the way anybody here speaks. But just like I can't tell you how you speak in Bangor, Maine. I could do a facsimile, but it's going to sound stupid.
I'm assuming it's pretty much how Stephen King talks, which is a little strange.
Yeah? Yes, it is. I can't do a Stephen King impression.
I can't say anything about how anyone speaks.
Oh, God. I like Josh Marshall. You got to go up the road a bit. Yeah, that's about right. I spent a lot of time in Maine, and I would never dare to write about Mainers. I'm just not going to assume I know. So stick in your lane, man.
I'm sure he'll care what you have to say about it.
Yep.
He doesn't give a shit what I have to say. Whatever. We're never going to be friends. I'm never going to have a beer with him, so it's fine. I prefer my company with you three idiots.
I would prefer, instead of writing in a Maine accent, to just do the Corey Haim Frogmother voice. Hey there,
Remember when
everybody.
we saw Corey Haim at Chiller?
Yes.
Yeah, and then he died.
Then
Did he have his harem with him?
He did not. He seemed to be doing pretty well.
No, but like, wasn't Daisy Duke like right next to him? And then
Yes, she was.
Counselor Troy was like right near. Right
She was right. We were on top of her, getting drunk and making really bizarre comments. And she was nice enough to ignore us.
I meant Corey Feldman's voice.
Number one, I have to think of number two. All right, Tim, you're going to talk about Goblin because you showed your shiny Goblin. So,
I already talked about it, man. That was it.
That's it?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm done.
You're done?
I'm done.
Is everybody done here?
Done.
We're all finished? Okay. Let's get into the main feature, which is holy shit, Fried Barry.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
You know, if you're looking for a mainstream movie that you can show everybody that you know, Fried Barry is not it.
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
This is for the deep end of the pool kind of people. And I am going to ask William Shatner, Fried Barry Manilow, to describe Fried Barry.
Do you want me to do Shatner or do throw something out there?
You can do whatever you want. You want to do Whitley Strieber, fresh from a probing from the communion? Whatever way you want to do this. Have fun.
Give me something else.
Travis Walton.
Walken. You do a
Christopher Walken.
Walken or Shatner.
Gilbert Gottfried.
What about Raoul Duke?
Who's Raoul Duke?
What about Big Poppy? How would Big Poppy describe this movie?
This is our story, man.
Can you do a Mike Tyson?
Come on, Mike Tyson.
This is about Barry and he's fried.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. I love my life.
Barry is a drug addict, you'd say?
Possibly.
Low life?
Yes.
Suddenly he's abducted by aliens and probed in his nether regions.
From withers to brisket.
And his body is brought back possessed by an extraterrestrial. Who proceeds to go crazy for the rest of the movie, taking on serial killers and rescuing children and running around and dancing, taking drugs and having sex. And it's that's all I got.
So much sex. So much sex. This is like watching Ron Jeremy, a day in Ron Jeremy's life in 1982.
It's just big dick swinging for the last half of the movie.
Good Lord. So, Jason, you're the one who told us to watch this movie. Chad Lutsky will never forgive you. But
he's very angry in the comments.
Fuck him. That's Turnabout is fair play. He made you watch Amityville. So, what did you think of Fried?
I told you I liked this. I had fun watching it. It's beyond description. I don't even understand why I liked it. I think it's just because it's so crazy. It's just like it feels like something they made up as they shot it, because there's no from one scene to the next. It's just like he walks down the street and something crazy happens. There's no plot here that makes a lick of sense. There's no narrative. There's a little character development, I guess. I mean,
is there?
What?
You know,
where
with his relationship with his wife, I guess you could say. There's a smidge.
Well, yeah, she wants to bang him.
It's just wild. The dude they found to play this insane character nails it. He's a very strange looking guy who they really amped up his looks and his behavior and his wild eyes, and it looks like his knees don't bend the whole time he's walking around.
Especially in the supermarket.
He's it felt like a great Joe Bob second movie. Because over the last 2 seasons, he usually will show like a good movie, and then the second movie, some off the wall shit. And this felt like a great 6 beers deep. We're all shit talking a movie, and it's Fried Berry. So in that context, I enjoyed it. Kiss my ass, Chad.
All right. Tim, the man who brought us the Greasy Strangler, which we all think this is kind of like an offshoot of that.
So I liken this movie to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is like one of my favorite movies ever. That was where the Raoul Duke reference came in, Jack. You didn't get it.
I've never seen that movie.
But you should see it.
Oh my God, we got to change that.
Dude, it's one of the best movies ever made. But this, like, I don't know, it is so bizarre. It's so weird. I liked it for that. But you're right. Like, there was absolutely no plot really to it. There was no story. Like, the character had no there was no conflict really. I mean, there was like little conflicts between scenes, but like there was no overarching story. And I don't know, it was just kind of like it was just like a bunch of random scenes like thrown together. But it was a short film. It was like a 9-minute short film, and then it was expanded to a feature-length film. So I think that's probably a lot of the reason why it felt like disjointed.
Well, there definitely isn't 9 minutes of story in this. So
yeah, exactly. And the rest is just like crazy sex and like crazy dance scenes, which I actually like. I enjoyed. Like, I was laughing hysterically at some parts of the movie just because it was just so ridiculous and fun. But I don't know if I'll ever watch this movie again. I definitely will never watch this movie again. But it was an experience. Whereas the Greasy Strangler, like, I could put on at any point in my life and just watch
Disco
it.
Cutie. Tim, you're my Disco Cutie.
You're mine.
I'll watch that with you anytime.
Yeah. So yeah, like, it's, I don't know. I'd say just watch it just because it's an experience, but I also wouldn't blame you if you hated this movie.
well, I think this is a drunk movie, and Chad doesn't drink. So
yeah.
That's true. He was in the wrong mindset. Jack,
like,
what'd you think?
Sorry, Chad, but I enjoyed this movie.
Chad's pulling out right now.
I'm not going to argue with anything you guys said, and a couple of things you said, Jason, nail it. Like, I had fun watching it. It's like it's different. It's a different fun watching it than I had fun watching the Lost Boys. The Lost Boys movie was like sci-fi, kind of what's that movie with the ass blasters?
Tremors.
Tremors. It's like that kind of stuff. This was more like Repo Man or something like that. Just like bizarre. What the hell did I just watch? I wish, Hunter, that like this. If we were together, we would have laughed our ass off during this movie.
I hope if we drank enough, definitely.
Yeah, like, so again,
maybe
like,
pop some Zans.
I'd be really careful who I recommended this movie to, and I would only watch it again like if we were all hanging out or something. It was like, hey, let's pop this in and talk during it. But it held my attention the whole time, and there was some really funny parts and some really bizarre stuff that happens, which we can get into. So for a sit down and watch it once thing, I got a kick out. Maybe I got a kick out of it was the right way to say it.
All right. Look, I love alien movies, so I like anything to do with abductions. My favorite part was the penis probing, which was
obviously.
So, is that where they inseminated the alien spirit? Did it go into the penis, or later on when they stuck them in both ends like a pair of finger cuffs?
I was going to say, he got spit roasted right after that. So
yeah, it was human centipeded him.
Yeah, that was a rough abduction. This guy's fucking weird looking. By the way, if you go to the IMDb page, all they list is him in the cast. His name is Gary.
Oh,
Green.
really?
And in his IMDb thing, it says, better known in the industry as Gary Green from Cape Town, South Africa. Gary is an actor, stuntman, and model. Model for what?
Skin graft procedures or something?
Better heroin addicts and wasteoids? I don't understand.
He has a great look for film, but he's not what you would think of as traditionally beautiful.
Yeah, I'll put him right up there with the guy from 13 Cameras. I think the two of them
be
could
hanging
make a
out.
funny movie.
He should be hanging out with the vampires in Near Dark.
Yeah, totally. in the beginning, I was all in. I was like, oh, I kind of like this idea. A heroin addict, this piece of shit, he gets abducted. And after a while, I'm going, I believe in alien abduction and putting an alien in you greater than this man getting laid by every woman he sees. And it just started, after a while, it started to wear on me. Like the whatever the gimmick was, I was like, all right, I'm kind of tired of it and I don't really care anymore. So by the end, I'm like, I don't give a shit, Barry. You can embrace your alien, you could go to hell, you could go to space. I don't care anymore. So by the end of it, I just didn't give a crap anymore. It wore thin. I think if it was an 11-minute movie, I would have been all in. But because it was an hour and a half, it just wore me out.
The intermission, you're like, wait, how much
the
longer
intermission?
is this?
I was like, oh, please, can I get up and leave right now? So I was ready to put this in ink as top movies of 2021, and then by the third act, I was like, no, this is I'm sorry I was sober when I watched this.
Did you watch it with Joe Bob?
No, I watched it, without Joe Bob. I didn't have 2.5 hours to spend to watch
I think it actually helped me because you break up the insanity with Joe Bob like making fun of it, and then you get back to it for another 20 minutes. So I think that actually helped quite a bit.
I will watch it again with Joe Bob. But to me, if the movie doesn't hold up without some fake hillbilly like breaking up things, then it's not good. It's just not good.
But there was enough stuff in there that I don't regret watching it, like the birthing scene.
Oh, yeah.
The probe,
that was disgusting.
The cashier,
the female cashier was hilarious.
Yeah, amazing.
So funny.
The kids in the cage with the serial killer thing.
Yeah,
like none of it made any sense, and it was just the dancing in the club stuff. Like,
oh, it was great.
It was like watching MTV for an hour and a half. It was more just like what are they doing now? And I could check my phone. I could walk into the room and come back.
I'm glad you brought that up because I did at one point go, this is an 80s music video just stretched out for 90 minutes. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, everyone went silent. There we go.
Man, Chad is getting angry.
Chad's coming after you. You better sleep with one eye open tonight.
You know what? This is going to be number one on my list this year. How about that shit? What do you think of that, Chad?
Hey, Chad, who's your favorite now on the show?
It's probably more entertaining than Slow Burn by Dickside or whatever. I didn't even read it yet.
Oh my God! God
damn! Oh God! That's what he gets.
Slow Burn on Riverside. By the way, the girl on the cover of this book looks like Chanel West Coast from Ridiculousness.
Chanel.
I don't know if you've noticed that. First thing I thought of.
My buddy Brian said he liked the Asylum Escape too. That was funny.
Yeah, that was
very last
great.
shot of that was,
dude, when that one guy had like the M16, and he was just like, oh, no.
Dude, I think I nodded off at that. I don't even remember.
You don't remember that?
No.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Fired.
Those guys were great.
The
those
movie
actors
got boring to me after a while. That was the problem.
It was very repetitive, but I mean that's what you get when you take a short film. And I'm trying to remember short films that got made into feature length films that were actually good. Like I can only think of like Oculus. Like that was like the
Sleep
only
Tight.
one.
Lights Out.
Lights Out.
Lights Out.
I didn't like
Lights
Out.
Oh, I saw that at
I liked it.
I was alone in a matinee when it came out. I loved it.
I wasn't a fan of that movie. So like I mean, there's historically like short films stretched out into longer movies.
Well, yeah. It's like trying to stretch a short story into a full-length novel. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know about this.
But
making The Hobbit into 3 movies.
Exactly. That's the perfect example.
I do think this is a good example of why this probably won't end up being like a super cult movie because there's just no story at all. Mm-hmm. Like you've got to have something in there kind of connecting all the craziness at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe Chad his head wouldn't be exploding scanner style right now.
I think if this movie had come out in the 80s and I just found it in a video store, it would be cult. But we've seen so many other movies that are weird like this that the novelty's not as big for this kind of stuff as it was back then. Like when you saw, I don't know, like
Toxic
Mother's Day
Avenger.
or some Toxic Avenger, trauma stuff and things like that. When it was new, you're like, oh my god. Now you're like, yeah, there's an
Yeah.
industry for this stuff now.
You want strange and intriguing and interesting Psycho Gorman. There's your movie in 2021.
Has a story.
Mhm.
So far, it's my number one movie of the year.
I think it is mine too.
I've watched it like 3 times already.
I want to watch it with my wife, but I think she'll be upset with me.
I watched
Wait,
it with my wife too.
hated that
and she
movie.
hated it too. She's
Wait.
like, "What is fucking wrong with you?"
It's
Like,
the Three Stooges and Monty Python of horror movies.
it's
Does,
just
Women won't get it.
this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. But I'm like, I love it. It's great.
Does Howling 7 count for this year, or is that too old?
Shit.
No,
No one's seen it, so sure.
doesn't
Because
count.
that's probably number
Ever.
one for me.
Even if we're in a time machine, it doesn't count.
I think for Shudder movies, this is worth a watch. It's just, there's no story. It is a little bit repetitive, but it's visually interesting. And I didn't get bored, but I also didn't care if I was looking at my phone or whatever. Like, so,
Right.
maybe I was just in a point where I just watched Nosferatu art film. And so I was like, okay, I can handle this. I don't have to think.
By
I
the
think
way,
this
that-
is a great movie if you have beers and you have a friend over.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you'll enjoy it more.
Do not watch it alone sober. That girl who we took home, who she said, woman, who she says, I haven't had sex in so long. And she puts on that porno movie with the reflection.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is penis in vagina right there. I'm like, how are we getting away with this? And I'm like, I think she's done this more than she says. I think she's a
Maybe.
liar.
Yeah, she put it on pretty quickly. It was like on fucking
Yeah. It was paused. For sure.
Yeah.
The freaking birth scene thing, though.
Oh my god.
Fried Barry can fuck, by the way. By the sound, like
Yes.
when he's told to at least make some noise, and the noise he makes was hysterical. Oh god. Oh.
Wait, you guys don't make those sounds when you do
I'm
it?
gonna from now on. See if it kills the mood or not. I don't know. We're gonna. I'll tell you next week how it goes.
That's not normal.
Huh?
Oh. I do want to say, like, we were laughing about that guy being a model or whatever. He is so strange in this. Like, he nails it. I don't know. He's so good. I almost wonder if this guy's really strange in real life. I don't know. I actually kind of want to see what he looks like normally. Did they really make him look crazy, or is this just how he looks?
You'll see Donald Trump in real life.
Because he doesn't have eyebrows, which always throws me off when I see people without eyebrows.
He's
It's just
Whoopi's kid.
what?
Whoopi Goldberg hasn't had eyebrows in 30 years.
Oh, I
so
don't watch
strange
it.
looking. Like draw something on.
So I don't know if it's an amazing.
Make yourself
performance
look
or-
surprised today.
Chat says, I do this during sex. Am I doing it right, Janet? Janet, am I doing it right?
Janet. It's great.
I'm worried about Chad, though. I feel like he can't have fun with a bad movie. I think he's a horror snob.
He can have fun with a bad movie.
Nah, I
don't
think he's
know.
a horror
This
snob.
didn't-
Horror snob.
He turned off Howling 7.
I think he was upset that Fried Barry looked too much like him.
He doesn't appreciate
I was
bad
waiting
movies.
for that. I was waiting for that.
Oh,
I kid because I love. But, you know,
Jesus.
skinny long hair.
That feels like a send off.
We didn't even ring the bell because there's no point in ringing the bell in this
there's
movie.
there's
What are you going to spoil?
yeah
You know?
Nothing.
random.
You might spoil an hour and a
crazy
half of your life watching it. I don't know.
Possible.
It was interesting.
It's how you do it. I think we go with a disclaimer. I did it wrong.
Oh,
Stone Cold
speaking-
sober and alone.
Speaking
no.
of disclaimers, like why did you guys see like that weird disclaimer in the beginning of this movie of the guys
I
like
loved it.
do not watch this movie? Is that like something that they do for like South African movies, or is
I
that
think
something
that was
they
part of the shtick of the movie.
Yeah, I
'cause
think
they
that's-
introduced
Oh.
the intermission too.
Yeah.
Joe Bob mentioned it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, because I
what he
watched
said.
the Joe Bob too, and he made it seem like that's what they. I don't know, maybe he was kidding, but he's like maybe that's something they do for.
I think it might have
Nah, I
been
think
something
that's
they
part of the
used
fun.
to do. Is that right?
I
Well,
don't
like
know.
William Castle would do things like that in movie. Like that was like an old time kind of thing to kind of like prep people and scare them. So I think
Well, it's like
that's what they're going for.
Hitchcock
That
telling
aesthetic.
you this is the scariest movie you're ever going to see. Amps up your expectation.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Not a great movie, but I enjoyed it.
Same.
Yeah, I got a kick out of it.
I want my time back.
I'm surprised, Hunter, because that movie is basically you.
Yeah,
I mean, pretty much. It's how it would go.
the birthing scene, the probing scene, like all that. Like I expected you to be like, this is the best movie of the
ready
year.
to be probed at any time. It just never happens.
I'm expecting some things to happen. It scares the care. I'm just saying.
Oh, the heroin is gonna be flowing at Scares the Care.
And the probing.
So much probing.
Did you like when
ain't
Fried
gonna be
Barry
me.
was when Fried Barry was the little kid?
Oh, he was like,
oh my god, that was so weird.
What was that? Like, all right, so who was that other woman at the end? Like, I must have missed something.
One was his wife, and one was the one that had the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the baby lady.
And then
The
him
baby
as the
lady.
baby, him as the baby, I think was him seeing the baby as him.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's what I got too from
'Cause
that. But
Barry was
I didn't realize
flaky.
that was the same woman. I thought it was like a new woman. Maybe because she
pulls her
wasn't.
tit out and he sucks from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say that's mom.
It's method acting.
Which, by the way, I was watching that scene when my wife walked in. I shit you not.
she's like, Jason, we need to talk.
The scary thing was we watched that movie on Sunday night, and my original intention was for the entire family of my wife, me, my wife, my two daughters, and my mother to watch that together. Thank God it didn't happen that way. Thank Christ it didn't happen that way. 'Cause that would not have been good.
Awkward.
Yeah. My wife
Yeah.
did not sit down to watch the rest of the movie after
I
seeing that. scene.
can't imagine why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing was,
know.
I had to tell her, I was like, "This is not the weirdest thing that's happened in this movie." So-
This is the fourth weirdest thing that's happened. in this movie.
Disclaimer.
yeah, because I was like totally not even shocked. I was just sitting there like, "Oh, okay." Because at that
Yeah.
point, I'm just so desensitized.
Well, yeah, that's
What
the
a-
problem with the movie.
How about in the chat, informal? Who watched this? Like, thumbs up, thumbs down. Like
Except
us,
Chad.
like-
Well, we know
we don't-
one
Chad,
thumbs
We
down.
don't.
Let's
Yeah,
have, like-
we don't
like-
need to know what Chad thought of it.
I don't know if
again.
anybody
Josh
here-
Marcella liked it.
like giving it a thumbs up is kind of different than what we're doing. We're like saying like yeah, I
Out
kind
of
of
5
enjoyed it.
pickles, how many pickles would you guys give it? Let's go on the pickleometer.
Oh, that's
Like,
strange. I don't even know how to rate this.
Two maybe.
Yeah, like
Because Barry,
two.
his pickle was straight up, and we see it straight up.
Barry's pickled. Yeah.
Yeah, he got one pickle up.
I mean, for one viewing, 2 to 3 maybe, but I'm not going to watch
so
it again.
we're gonna say 2.5.
Yeah, I'd say 2.
2. I'm giving it 1 pickle, like one soggy pickle,
That's
like a pickle
not-
that was like hard when you took it out
clearly,
of the jar, but
I
you
would-
left it in the sun and it got like limp.
Wait,
You
I
gotta
thought
give
you
it-
liked this movie.
I don't really.
No,
I
he
like
didn't
part
like
of it.
it.
Yeah, I'm not in the fried Barry corner.
He did the typical like he started out loving it more than any of us, and then he hated it by the end.
But
Because he's all
the
extreme.
movie went off the fucking rails.
Yeah, but so if you liked it, if you really liked 2/3 of it, why the one pickle?
I didn't really like 2/3. I was intrigued by part of it, and then
I feel like that's
third
worth
act
more than one
just
soggy pickle.
threw
I
it
think
all
you're-
away.
I think you're insulting the filmmakers here.
I would give it fried pickles, clearly.
It was like my prom. I had a really good time with the date I took because I couldn't take my girlfriend, and then when I wanted to have some fun, she kept talking about her boyfriend, and then the whole prom sucked. So it was similar to my prom. How about that?
That explains it.
Thanks for
One
that. Thanks for that
pickle.
life story that you just
One pickle.
unleashed upon
Elaine.
us.
I should have taken you, Elaine. I should have picked someone else, but I took you. I hope you're listening. God damn, you ruined my prom.
That was like 50 years ago, man.
But I took my wife to her prom the next year, and it was all better. But that prom sucked. I've had other good proms though. I went to a lot of proms. I was a big catch back in the day.
I'm not sure if I'd be bragging about that.
I was asked to go to a prom when I was married, which is really weird.
That's
very strange.
That was a big no.
Why were you hanging out with the high school kids?
I wasn't.
It's
It was
probably-
a friend's sister who wanted me to take her to a prom.
It's probably best we don't talk about this.
You know
further.
why? Because she knew she'd leave satisfied.
want to see Hunter on some sort of list.
I feel like
She's
you were
18.
Matthew McConaughey and
Yeah.
All right.
They keep getting younger, but I'm staying the same.
Chad says we need to redeem ourselves with next week's pick. So,
We
Chad,
have next week's pick.
I want you to hang on to your roach clip. We're going to watch Army of the Dead.
Yes.
we've been waiting forever for this
The
to come out.
Snyder
Yeah.
cut.
This
Snyder
is Zack Snyder. So
It's probably not even the Snyder cut, to be honest with you. I'm sure that'll come out in like 10 years.
probably a Joss Whedon cut.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh,
So,
God.
yeah.
By the way,
Just-
everyone in the
yes.
chat except Chad seems to have liked the movie. So
Yeah, well, Chad's
Mm.
wrong, clearly.
Army of the
Yeah.
Dead doesn't seem like a Chad movie either.
No, I hope he
just
hates it too.
Watch this movie
I want him
sucks. I bet it's going to suck. I'm going to put my money on that. We're going to
Yeah,
see.
we'll see. I have a weird thing with Zack Snyder films. The first time
Yeah.
I watch them, I'm always like, it was okay. And then I watch it again later and I'm like, well, actually, I kind of really like that.
Yeah,
It's happened with Watchmen, Man of Steel, most
Yes,
of
I
this
watched it
stuff.
twice this week then.
Sucker Punch.
I've only watched that once. That was my least favorite.
Oh, I
Maybe
watch
should
that
try
was-
all the time.
That was
Great-
my
great
least
with the
favorite.
Sound off.
That was my least favorite, but I watched it again and I was like, this isn't as bad as I remember it.
Jamie
the first time.
Chung, Carla Gugino. God damn. And the music's great.
I need
That's
to check
a
it out.
fun movie.
Good music.
I like
Literally
Zack
every one of
Snyder.
his I watch. I'm like, that's fine. And then I watch it again. I end up
I
really
love
digging it.
Watchmen. Watchmen's phenomenal.
300, baby. 300.
300's great.
Josh Marcella says I give Chad one pickle, and Chad, I don't want your pickle. That is
Nice.
amazing. This is why you watch live. You might not
Ugh.
catch all this if you're listening on the audio only. So this is a good reason to tune in on Tuesdays.
I love the passion that Chad has, though.
Yes. Tonight, boy, he's out there.
It matches my charismatic passion about American Werewolf in Paris.
All right,
By the
we got to
way-
do this summer.
Yeah,
We
I
have to
think
do
we
that movie.
If you like Chad's passion, Jack
get
and
it.
I had Chad and Jeremiah from Paleo Cheese on our show, which will be airing soon, where we compare the original versus the remake of The Fly.
I'll probably drop later this week.
That episode is only about 7 hours long, so get ready. But it's all good. No filler, all killer.
All killer.
All right, that's it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So go spread the word, proselytize the final guys, and we will see you next week for Army of the Dead. Until then, hug the ones you love, and good night.
Okay, bye.
Peace.
I hate all of you.